Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. Today I've got 3 replays to show you in the Tier 8 Soviet Tech Tree double barrel heavy tank, the IS-2-II. Now I've had a lot of fun playing this tank. Recently I've started to work my way towards the marks of excellence and I've had a lot of good replays and I've got 3 to show you today. It's definitely worth staying around because the last replay in particular is a very decent game. But here we are, top tier on mine, so we're going to take quite an aggressive position here. It's a little bit risky getting into position, just got to hope I don't take too much punish getting there. Thankfully I actually got there losing no hit points, which is nice. And now we're in a good position that if anyone wants to try and get to the hill, we're going to have side shots onto them. So like this, so like this tank's obviously pushing up to the hill, we've got decent shots into these tanks. And I'm able just to try and free farm damage. Got to be a little bit careful that there is enemy artillery in the game, but I can try and use this rock as a little bit of cover depending on where the artillery is sitting, and also just the tanks at the back of the map, which are could potentially get shots into me. So we get a nice shot there into the IS-3. He's now obviously aware of the situation and he's just going to use that rock as a bit of cover. But I've just noticed an enemy light tank coming behind and I want to try and get a shot into this. I actually swapped to the double shot there just to really put in the damage, and we put that tank onto sort of half hit points. The reason I choose to do the double shot there is because I didn't know how many other opportunities I'd get to shoot at the light tank, because I figured once I shot him he's probably going to run off, so I might as well just try and get that extra damage in by using the double shot. I'm hoping this IS-3 backs up enough so we can track him in place, because then we could try and permo track him and actually just get some shots in. But at the moment I haven't quite had that opportunity to land that. But we have managed to pick up about sort of 1500 damage, as well as picking up a kill. Our friendly Kaiser K is kind of gone forward, and unfortunately he's got taken out by the enemy tanks at the back there. But so far a pretty close game. It's still 10 versus 12, but so far we've managed to maintain all our hit point and also pick up about 2000 damage. We go for the double shot there in the IS-3. Again, the reason I choose to use a double shot in that scenario is because I was getting limited opportunities to shoot that IS-3. So because the second you fire the double shot, you obviously lose DPM, because you can get more DPM by firing just the shots individually. But when I have the situations where I'm not going to get those time to utilise that DPM, I might as well hit hard with that alpha and just try and get some damage. So like this scenario here, there's no point using a double shot because this ISM is just in the open, it's not really moving. So I'm just going to maximise my DPM by using the single shots, trying to get as much into this tank as I can. He's trying to escape now. We put him onto a potential one shot, but he just manages to get out there before we're able to pull the trigger. But so far we've got 3,700 damage, 500 assistance, and we've only just got penned for the first time by that IS-3. It sort of overswings onto us. And it's still a close game though. It's 9 versus 9, all pretty even. So we've got to be careful, because this game is, we're having a decent game here, but we want to utilise it and get as much out as we can. There is a Sherman at the back, you see, just waiting to shoot us if we overpeak too much. At the moment, I really want to get rid of this IS-3, but like I say, I've got no way of getting shots into him unless he pulls back far enough for me to land those shots. Enemy tank destroyer crosses, we get a shot, but then we eat one off of that Sherman for trying to get that shot in there, which is a shame. Trying to get another one into him, but yeah, he's just behind the cover. Thankfully, the IS-3 comes back. We actually swapped to the double shot just so we could finish him off there, picking up 2 kills there, 4,000 damage and a little bit of assistance. Still, at this point we started to gain a little bit of advantage, but it's pretty close. It's pretty even all the way out, for the loss of this game. And at this point I'm just waiting to see if I can get any shots. We have won the hill, like our team are on the hill, so that is a good for us, because they're going to have lots of opportunities to shoot different angles. But at the moment I'm thinking about what I can do here to try and break the deadlock and get a bit more out of this game, because I kind of feel like this position's almost sort of outliving itself at the moment. I can't really get much more, and I've just noticed an enemy tank destroyer is coming behind us, so we need to try and focus out this TD as quick as we can. We actually shot the double shot there, putting them onto half health, putting us onto about 4,500. Now I want to just try and take this tank out. Like you see, because I fired that double shot, I've got to wait for that gun to reload. We get that shot in there, putting him onto a one shot to us. We do have a light tank to our left as well, which we've got to be a little bit careful, but I'm just trying to finish off that TD. which I can't quite get a shot into him now. So I'm just going to see. It looks like this enemy tank destroyer is actually pushed up to the hill. Unfortunately, there's so many wrecks in the way now, that IS-3 and that other medium wreck, but I can't quite get a shot into this tank, which I'm finding it a little bit awkward to find the shot. So I'm just going to pull back and just hope that my friendly artillery will hit this tank and take him out for us, unless it does prevent us, gives us an opportunity to get a shot in. So we're just looking to try and squeeze one in. Enemy artillery was trying to shoot us, but he doesn't quite have the shots unless we poke to about here, and that's when the artillery can hit us. But now, you know, we started to win the game, but it's still close, and I'm thinking, like, I want to try and do something different. So I'm trying to get shots in, but I'm just sort of, you know, I can't quite get a shot. This tank's obviously very aware that I'm here, and it's not really poking for a shot. We swapped to a double because I thought he was going to poke then, but now you see how close the artillery was to hitting us. I'm thinking about trying to go down the one line right now. It's what's in the back of my mind, but I'm just seeing if I can get any more shots before we move. And then we found this enemy Chrysler K, which has come up. So we're going to actually just, you know, probably maybe try and get some shots into this Chrysler K now. If he pushes a little bit further, we're going to have shots into him. But obviously, the Chrysler K is aware that we are here as well. So he is looking for shots into us right now. So, you know, having a decent start. I want about 5,000 damage, 1,000 assistance, 2 kills. So we are having a good game. We've still got half of our hit points left. But I feel like if I die, then, you know, this game is going to be in the balance. So I've got to make sure that we stay alive here. So this is where I'm thinking, right, I'm going to do something different, and I am going to try and go down the one line. So I'm going to be careful that I don't kill myself doing this climb, because otherwise that would be sad. But we want to try and get down here, so going as slowly as we possibly can. And now I'm going to try and make a different angle. And you see that position, we've pretty much got all of our damage from that one spot. But now it is time to move, and we're going to see if we can try and see if we can get some shots, different angles into that medium which is on the hill. Maybe try and lock, you know, in their spawn, see if we can try and light them up, see if we can get any damage out of them, and yeah, just see what we can do. So again, unfortunately, one of our tanks gets taken out there, but we have regained the lead, put us into 5 versus 4. I'm kind of aware that Chrysler K was around this sort of hillside, but I'm thinking he might have backed up now. Enemy artillery gets spotted. We're shooting a double shot in, and I'm just hoping someone's going to shoot this artillery to finish him off. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. No one's really got the shots in, and he actually managed to squeeze in a shot there and put us on to 95 hit points. And yeah, this is now very awkward because we have 95 hit points. We've got a damaged ammo rack as well, and we're not in the best of positions. So now I'm thinking, I don't know if I've made a mistake, but I was just trying to make something happen because it was starting to become a bit of a stalemate. So we just got this enemy medium in front of us. We do still have our friendly artillery in the game though, so you know, hopefully he can try and land some shots here. I'm hoping this medium is going to poke, and then I can try and get the finish. You know, he gets shot there, put by our friendly tank, and gets put onto a one shot. I'm going to try and, you know, close the distance to see if we can take this tank out. But I'm aware there was a Chrysler K at the bottom. We are now winning this game, and it is just this Chrysler K which is left. And you know, from memory, he was fairly healthy. I don't know if he's lost any health yet, and I'm still on 95 hit points. So it is a 1 versus 4, but you know, if his Chrysler K is healthy and what we've got left is low tier tanks, and you know, he could win it. And he's literally on full health. So this is, you know, not great. I'd like to try and get up around the right into their spawn, and then I could shoot down onto this tank. But I don't know if I'm going to get there unspotted. So I'm thinking, am I going to make this? He's not detected me so far, but I think it's just because he wasn't able to, because cupola wasn't visible. And now we get detected, and I'm thinking, oh, I've just messed up. Thankfully, he bounces off of us there, and otherwise we would have just potentially thrown that game, because I know it's 1 versus 4, but he's got a lot of hit points left. So we're going to need help off of our team. We want to put ourselves onto about 6,000 damage, but we are a one shot to this tank, so we're going to have to wait for our tanks to flank round. I was hoping our tanks will come off of the hill and just go behind him, because all I need him to do really is turn the Chrysler K, so he has to fight multiple angles, because the second he turns and doesn't look at us, we're not going to poke and put shots in. But our tank, you know, it looks like they are now slowly coming around the hill, and that's what I want. I want this Chrysler K to get shot from behind, and at that point then I can start to do damage. There's no point in poking right now, because like I say, I'm a one-shot. But he does get distracted. He turns for the artillery, so I fire a double shot into his side, putting him onto half hit points there. And now I'm hoping he's just going to stay distracted from that enemy artillery, but it doesn't look like he is. He looks like he's intent on trying to take us out here, which is awkward. I don't know. Yeah, I think he should be getting shot here from the tanks behind here. He's finally getting shot. Now at this point, I'm thinking, you know, is he turned? I can't quite work out his turn, so I'm slowly sort of reversing back for a shot. But he is looking at us there. He is on a one shot. I chance it for a shot there, but I can't quite get it in, and then he punishes me for it, takes it out. I'm hoping that he's on low enough hit points that our team will be able to get the win, and thankfully the Eagle-Eyes, our artillery, does take him out. And that brings us an end to replay number 1, with 2 more replays to come. So we had a really nice game there. We got 3 kills, 6,400 damage, 1,300 assistance, 2,500 blocked, getting the ace tanker and the high caliber. But let's move on to replay number 2. Okay, so here we are for the second replay. This time we're on Duca Pass. There's 1 enemy artillery in the game and 1 enemy light tank. But it is tier 10, so we are bottom tier in this lobby. So I'm hoping to try and push down sort of, I don't know, the right hand side, if you call it the heavy flank if you like. I want to try and get into a brawl, but what I would really like to happen is some of our sort of top tier heavy tanks to come with us, because otherwise, if their tier 10 tanks come there, I might be in a bit of a problem if I don't get any support. Unfortunately, it doesn't, you know, I have got some tanks coming with me, but it looks like the majority of our heavy tanks are starting to push down the sort of 1-2 line in their sort of tier 10 heavies, which is never ideal. You know, I would kind of like them to, you know, to help fight, but I'm just going to hope that, you know, maybe the enemy doesn't send their tier 10 heavies down here as well, which they probably will. So my team is kind of lagging behind me a little bit, but I am going to push up and try and get into this rock. I don't want to go too aggressive, just because obviously if I go really far in, then I could run the risk of getting surrounded by their tanks and not having the support. But I also do want to get here quickly, because I want to be able to spot the cross and actually shoot the cross as they make their advance. So I'm just having a little situation here. Like I say, I'm hesitant to pushing too far because I'm waiting for my team to come with me. I only really have 3 tanks with me, but those, you know, it's only really 1 which has actually moved further forward to enough to be in the actual fight. So we do spot a tank crossing here. It is a Tiger. We swapped to the double shot to get the shot in. We damaged this Armour. The reason we use a double shot there again is because I didn't know the opportunity I'm going to have to get the damage in. That's why I didn't want to sit there trying to get my single shot in. I just wanted to get the damage in and punish a tank on the cross. And we did manage to land both tanks, putting us onto about 600 damage. And now it looks like he's actually going to cross again. We swapped the double shot in again, which puts this heavy tank onto a one shot. Our medium tank has pushed forward enough, so it is creating a crossfire, which is nice. And I'm trying to do my best to help out that medium tank by shooting the tanks crossing to coming towards him. We did manage to take out a tier 8 mouse breaker there, putting this onto our first kill of the game in about 1,300 damage there, 1,300 damage. And so far, you know, our rest of our team still haven't really pushed up to sort of get close enough in the fight. There is a tier 9 autoloader, the next one up, the IS-2-II. We managed to get a shot there into his roof because obviously just the way it was angled, we went straight through the top of the turret and picked up a pen, which is good. But that tank's obviously going to be very dangerous, and if I'm just in a straight brawl with that tank, then he's going to win the engagement, because obviously he is in the tier 9 tank, and he's got better DPM than me, so it should be being a tier 9 heavy tank. So I'm going to try and push forward, because I still want to try and get as much damage out of this game as I can. I'm trying to hope for my team to come forward to help us out. Unfortunately, Emil has got in a situation where he was hold down to me and he's just dumping his clip. Thankfully, he did bounce one of the shells, and it looks like he may be on reload now. But then this IS-2-II comes round and he shoots me with the double shot there, and that is not good, because that's put us onto a potential one shot. Thankfully, we have managed to punish him though and putting him onto one shot, so at least he's pretty much lost his tank almost for that trade. So although it's not ideal, because now we're on 400 hit points, at least, you know, we've picked up a lot of damage, and we've sort of out-traded him out there, and he then does get taken out by our friendly fun police there in the artillery, which is good because we wanted to get rid of that threat. Still, again, a very, very close game, but now we're proper up against it because I've just spotted an enemy E5, which is here. The E5, I just can't push in on 400 hit points. He's just going to eat me for shreds, really. So I've got to play a little bit cagey. We're trying to get shots into this Tiger 2 when he peeks. Unfortunately, I managed to bounce a few of the shells, which is not ideal. But again, like I say, I'm just going to have to be patient here. Our friendly tank destroyer in a T-30 is now pushing up to help us with this fight, which is good because we need him in the fight. I need really, what I want to happen is like maybe our T-30 to start engaging the E5. If he engages the E5, then I will help him out. I'll push forward and try and get shots in. I just don't want to be the centre of the focus. I need someone with a bit more hit points to maybe try and use some of those hit points for us to try and get rid of this tank, because I'm not going to be able to get rid of him by myself. So I am moving into a position that E5 isn't looking at us. If he starts looking at the T-30, I'd be able to get the shot in here. We actually, unfortunately for me, this E5 is looking straight at us. I don't want to eat the shot. I can eat probably one shot of the E5, but then I would be left on absolutely no hit points. Tiger 2 comes round, and we manage to land a double shot into his lower plate, putting him onto a one shot there. Pull back now behind this rock. Thankfully, our boss leg actually takes out that Tiger 2, which is really nice because that's cleared that angle out, and it's just this E5. I was looking to see if I could try and get the shots in there, but it's just not going to work. I do have 7 degrees of gun depression, but that's not going to be enough to, you know, to poke like that. The E5 is going to get the shot into me. Now we've got a tier 10 enemy 440U medium tank, which is very, very dangerous tank. That tank could one-shot us, and that's not ideal. The E5 is not looking at us. We're going to try and get 2 shots in through the cupola. We only managed to pen 1, but at least we managed to get that 1 shot in. Like I say, I'm using a double shot because I haven't got time to keep using my single shot DPM at that moment. It's more about just trying to get as much damage in as I can, just get rid of that tank. And so far, being that we are bottom tier, you know, we've had a decent game on 3,700 damage, 1,300 assistance, and we are winning this game now. It's 11 versus 7. Again, this E5 is a problem for me, and I just need my team to try and distract him so we can go in together. Just, you know, with a team, we'll be able to take him out. I got one of the shots in there. I actually thought I was shooting the rear of the tank for some reason, but I only managed to pen 1. And he does get taken out now by our friendly Peugeot 65, which is good. Conway looks to get a shot in. Thankfully, the Conway bounces off us. He's using a small gun, but that would be enough to take us out anyway. But yeah, we get lucky that we actually bounced that shot off to Conway. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been good. We're going to try and move further forward now to try and get, you know, into a position where we're hold down. I'm going to use the double shot because I feel like this Conway's going to poke. If I land a double shot, I'm probably going to put him close to a one shot to me. I can't push him because, yeah, there's no way. I've got this 440U to my right hand side. He can't shoot me in a moment because I've got this rock in the way. But if he comes around and tries to take us out, there's not going to be a lot we can do about it. We do have a tank destroyer to our right covering us. We're just going to have to, again, stay patient in this moment. I can't push forward. The Conway does come round. We slap him with the double shot. Thankfully, we ricocheted that off of our turret, and now that's good because now that Conway is on a one shot to us. So if he does that again, we should be able to have to jump on him and take him out before he's able to get the shot into us. But we just have to be patient here because we've got that 440, like I say, to the right hand side. I can't push further forward because he'll then get shots into me. I can't really deal with him, to be honest with you, because I'm on 400 hit points. The best thing I can do is wait for maybe that Conway to make a mistake, poke, and we get a shot into him. Or our team just to come in again just to help us out. You know, maybe they'll win the other side. That would mean the tanks might start turning around. But yeah, so far we've got 4,600 damage, 1,300 assistance with 1,200 blocked here. But again, this game is close now at 6 versus 5. So we've just got to stay in the game. You know, like I say, I'm not making any sudden, you know, rash decisions here because I know there's a Conway down there. There's also an enemy Waffle, which I don't really know where he is. And with that medium tank, that 440 to my right hand side, that's the real issue for me. It looks like this the medium tank is coming in for us now. This is not good. We just want to get the punish in before we can get to us. We get one shot in, we get two shot in, which actually puts him onto a potential one shot to us. We can maybe eat one shot unless he high rolls. He doesn't high roll, and now we've got the kill on the tank, which is good. And we take out the tier 10 tank. Conway's coming for us. Now, I should be able to get reloaded before that Conway comes round, but I didn't expect that waffle to be there, and the waffle takes us out and brings my game to an end. Now, what I'm going to do to save you from this, we do win this game, but it goes on for ages. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the scoreboard to save you watching that, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that is the end of that replay. As you see, we got 2 kills, 5,600 damage, 1,300 assistance, getting the high caliber and ace tanker in a tier 10 matchmaking lobby. So a really decent game, but now we've got the best replay to come, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are for the final replay then. We are on Arctic region. There is no enemy artillery in the game. There's one enemy light tank, and this time we are top tier. So being that there's no enemy artillery, we're going to try and play the left hand side at the start, because with no artillery in the game, it's a lot easier for us to play that position. Where, you know, if there was artillery, then you're kind of sitting in the open a lot of the time, and the artillery can have sort of a lot of good shots at you. But we don't have to worry about that at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and get there as quickly as we can. And if anything crosses, you know, get spotted crossing, I want to try and get the punish into them. So we're just trying to get there. And this is why I actually do quite like running the traction system on this tank. And just that little extra boost to the top speed actually does feel quite nice, because the accuracy of this tank feels pretty good, and I don't really feel like I need to run the vert stabs. So it kind of gives you a free equipment slot to be able to fit that in. So we're getting behind this rock so we can try and go hold down and just try and get any shots into anything like this stern panzer which gets spotted. Just trying to find the angle with my gun depression. We work it out and we get a shot in there, you know, picking up our first pen of the game, and then we just try and get a shot in, which we didn't really think would pen, but we just try to go for it anyway. Ragnarok's in the open, we get a nice shot into that tank, getting our second pen into the game. And now his Sturm is sort of back up, but he's kind of hold down. We're probably going to struggle to pen him with APCR from that distance, because obviously with the APCR penetration over distance, you do lose, you know, a bit of a drop off. So we're not going to be at an actual penetration value. We're just going to try and blind fire him just in case he was there. We are a couple tanks down, but now it's time for me to move further forward, because these tanks on the right hand side, which have moved quite close, I want to try and get shots into those tanks. So I thought I could try and get a hold down there to get the shots in. That's not going to work. I'm just going to have to overextend to do that. Not worth it, because I'm going to end up losing hit points. So I'm just going to get into a better position where our friendly Brass is here. I think the Brass has dumped his clip now. So I'm just going to try and use his location to get shots into his tank and start putting them to work. There is a one shot which we're obviously going to confirm first, picking up our kill. Now we've got this Italian tank destroyer to deal with. He has shown us his cupola, which is quite small, but when it's flat like that, we can pen it. So we get a nice shot into him. Now he's kind of at a bit more of an angle. We've got to try and go for the lower plate. Unfortunately, that one does ricochet. And now he's kind of in an awkward situation. We do have shots at his cupola, but like I say, it's not a guaranteed pen. And he's now moved behind that wreck, which is causing us problems. But he is getting shot from elsewhere. So I can't really get shots at that Italian TD, so I'm just going to ignore him for the time being and just shoot this Tiger tank. Thankfully, the SU takes out that Italian tank destroyer, and now that gives us free farm into this Tiger without having to worry about getting shot into the side. We get a couple of shots in there, hoping to get one in for the drive wheel to stop him getting across. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen, but we do get a few shells into that tank. Now we're trying to get one into this medium who is poking on the right. Like I say, we are hold down, and we have bounced, you know, a few shots right now. He does poke, and we get a shot in there, picking up a bit of damage. We are losing this game, but we're only one tank down. I'm kind of a little bit concerned they might start to come towards our base, so I might have to start thinking about that. But right now I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can. We do pick up 2 kills, putting us into 2,400 damage. Now I'm going to try and make my advance over to try and get the damage of the rest of the tanks in the base, and then maybe we'll have to think about either turning around, you know, or pushing forward for the cap, you know, depending on the situation. So they've got this TD, the Stern Panzer, to our left. but he has backed right down now, so he hasn't quite got shots unless he pokes really high, and then he should get shot by our friendly tanks here if he does do that. So I'm just keeping an eye on that angle, but I want to try and lean over and get shots on these tanks on the right if I can. As that happens, a tank gets spotted crossing. I used a double shot there just to get a boost of damage, just because I thought I wasn't going to get time to put the 2 single shells in. Puts us on just over 3,000 damage and picking up 1,500 assistance as well, which is nice. I went for the blind fire there. I don't know why, because he's not there, but I thought, well, just in case he was somehow not spotted. Now I'm toying with going over and just getting rid of this tank, because I don't think the enemy team are going to get the shots into us. I might eat one, but it's worth it just to take care of this tank. We do come around, we just clear up that angle, picking up a 3rd kill there. And then we spot this enemy VK on the other side, and it looks like there is some tanks going towards our base now. So what I want to do is try and head back, one to stop them capping our base, but also I think there's like 3 heavy tanks gone over that side, and there's probably quite a lot of damage in there. So I want to try and get over there to see if we can get some more damage out of this game. So far we've got 4,000 damage, 1,500 assistance and 3 kills. So we've had a good game, but there's still more to be had. So we're going to try and get over. That VK is fairly healthy. We know exactly where he is, so we're going to try and get across. We're just looking to put a shot into his lower plate here. We get a nice shot in there, and now we're going to try and duck down, get behind this rock as quickly as we can to try and avoid him putting a shot into us. So now he has backed up because he's realised he's got team behind me which can shoot him. So I'm just going to try and close the distance, because if you can see, there are tanks going into our cap circle right now. So I do need to get back to defend this to avoid getting capped out by the enemy team. But first, we're going to have to deal with this enemy VK. So we're just looking to see where he was. We know, he's up there somewhere. He does poke up. We actually go for the double shot here because we wanted to put him on a 1-shot to us. Unfortunately, only one of the shells actually ended up penning. So we might as well just use a single shot, but that is just the way way it is. He's going to try and face hug us, so I'm going to leave it, and then I'm going to try and get behind him to stop him doing that. And now we've got shots into his side, and we do manage to take him out, putting us on to just shy of 5,000 damage, and we picked up another kill. And now I want to go back and just confirm the 2 tanks which are in our base to try and pick up, just to clear up that base and make sure that base is defended. And then hopefully, if we can get back to the other side, we might be able to pick up a bit more damage from the tanks in their base. But we've got to take these tanks out first. We haven't ate any damage yet, so we can afford to eat a shell. Right now, I'm just going to let this tank shoot us, just so I can try and get a shot in. Annoyingly, the first damage we do take damages our ammo rack, which is not ideal. But thankfully, we've got another shell already loaded, and we should be able to take out this 1-shot heavy, which we do, and that picks up 6 kills and 5,000 damage, and only 3 tanks remaining. But there is only one of our tanks over there fighting those tanks right now, so if we're quick, we might be able to get over there and actually try and get some more damage. He actually gets taken out, which brings us back to a bit more of a closer game, back to a 4 versus 3. We've got a friendly Barras coming around the outside of the map. I think our friendly Barras is on the 1-shot. If it's the one from earlier, he's done well to stay alive this long. But we just want to get over there and hope for the best. Hope to get some more damage, because we've got 6 kills. We get 1 more kill, we can pick up a Devastator, and if we're lucky, we might be able to pick up a Radley's. So we just want to try and get there. We managed to repair our ammo rack now, so we're good to go. But it's just whether we're going to get there. I'm just trying to look to see what tanks are. That tank's obviously on a 1-shot, it's got no damage. The other tanks, I think we've got that enemy, Sternpanzer from the start of the game, so he was on about half hit points. And the other tank, the other heavy tank, I have no idea how many hit points he's got left. I just want to try and get there quickly. Barras does confirm the 1-shot tank, which has now left us into a 4 versus 2. We've got a head start on our other heavies, so we might be able to get there quickly, pick up a bit of damage. We do spot this tank, and he's pretty much full health. Now, we should have shot at the drive wall from where he was positioning there. We ended up bouncing a shot and losing a pen of damage and stopping him, tracking him in place. So that was a little bit poor. As we spotted, we suddenly seen the Sternpanzer. We don't want to get dirt by that tank, but he is on a 1-shot if we use a double shot to that tank, and we do manage to double shot him, picking up the 7th kill, confirming the Devastator medal. I'm not sure where I'm looking there. Now I'm just going to try and get as much damage into this tank as I can. If I'm lucky, I can pick up a Radley. So we get one shot into him there. We can out DPM him. He's not going to out DPM us now. We put another shot into him. He's left onto a one shot. Do we get the reload in time? I'm not sure. Trying to squeeze it in, and thankfully we just squeezed that shot in, and we ended up having a really nice game there. So what did we do? We picked up 8 kills, confirming the Radley's medal. Got 6,700 odd damage, combined with 1,500 assistance. So really nice game to finish up there. But yeah, that is it for the IS-2-II. Thank you so much for your support, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!